I think there's a big difference in like making Aliya to Israel as a Jew as opposed to being an immigrant to a new country. And like this I kind of know because my parents immigrated to Australia from South Africa. I grew up in a community where there are a lot of immigrants. And I think if it's possible to say it like this, the difference is that in Israel they want you. As an immigrant to a new country, like the government will let you in, but in Israel they want you to be here, and that's makes all the difference. And also, you get benefits. Like for example, Alim Khadashim get like money benefits and get discounts on Arnona and things like that. Whereas in Australia, okay, fine, maybe there are also benefits for immigrants and English classes if needed, whatever. But in terms of the government and in terms of the people here, like Israelis are always like, wow, you made Aliyah, like, wow, that's really impressive. In Australia, okay, like, like Israelis are almost grateful that you make Aliyah. Like, why would you leave your family and come here? And there are a lot of reasons, as I've said. But in other countries, I find it's like, oh, okay, so you came, well done, you must be coming to a better life because your country is bad. Where with Aliya, it's not some people make Aliya because their countries are bad, but I didn't, for example, and I feel more at home here than I did in Australia. You're a Jew, and this is the Jewish country, and they're not going to turn you away. Every Jew has a home here. So the thing about this website is that it's not out to show whether Israel is good or bad. That's not the point of this website. But the thing it does show is that Israel is special in that in terms it does things for its citizens, and not just its citizens, Jews, that no other country does. And that's worth a lot. So for people who are like watching this clip, what would I want them to get? I guess for non-Jews and also for Jews, but for non-Jews in particular who hear Stam about like Israel in the news, I would want them to just think that there's a little more behind it than what you see, like what you hear in the news, and it's all bad and it's scary and it's dangerous. For example, like here, for the first time ever, like in Australia you can't do it. I walk around by myself at night, like lots of people at like 12 o'clock at night, girls walking around by themselves, and it's fine. In Australia, I don't know anybody who do that. Like, it's dangerous. So I just would want people to think, okay, you know what? Like what I hear on the news about this and that and the next thing, there's more to it than that. Like the picture is bigger, and I don't know all about it. For Jews, I guess I'm all for Aliya. I think Aliya is a great thing, and I'm like personally, as I said, like this is a place for me. I realize it's not for everybody, but I do think a lot of people could come here and could do well here. I just think it's all about sort of having priorities and expectations in order. Don't expect it to be the same, because it's not. It's a different country. It's a different culture. It's not the same. It's never going to be the same. Don't expect to come and pick up your life like you had wherever you were, and just remember what's really important. Like, is it so important that you have, your yacht parked in the driveway? Is it... Here the thing is, everyone lives for a goal, whether they mean to or whether they want to or not. People living here, you're living for something. Whether you do it on purpose, whether you're here because you're Zionist and you want the state of Israel, or whether you're just born here and you don't have any other passport, everyone here is living for a goal because we have to fight for this land. Ideology, but in terms of ideology and in terms of actually physically, we have to fight for this land. But I think that adds something to life, that you have a purpose here, whereas like in Australia, okay. If I sort of connect this to what I was saying before, I think living here for a goal, you see that very much in your Ma'atzmaut and very much in your Mazikaron, because because on those days, like, you realize how much is at stake, and how we had to fight to get this little piece of land that we have. It's not very much. It's not a big country. We had to fight so hard, and so many soldiers have died, and so many people have been, lost family members. And we're so proud of the fact that we have 64 years, and we're so proud of that, because for us it's a big deal. And I say us because I feel proud of that. And although I didn't grow up here, and I didn't go to the army, and I didn't have friends in the army and all that kind of stuff, I'm here because of them. And because if they hadn't gone to do that, I wouldn't have the opportunity to be here. And there are other reasons. It's also connected to the Holocaust and things like that, which is another story. I think that the way Yom HaAtzmaut and Yom HaZikaron here are celebrated is different to anywhere else. It's very meaningful the way that Yom HaAtzmaut and Yom HaZikaron are completely juxtaposed. You go from complete sadness and everybody mourning to, everyone happy. And I think that's right. That it helps you remember your priorities and why we're fighting, why we're here. But there's been a lot of different videos about different things on this website, about like things Israel is good at, about medicine and about the economy and technology and whatever. I've spoken a little bit differently about Aliya and how it is to be here as someone who comes from a different culture. If you have any questions, comments, people who are maybe thinking of making Aliya, feel free to write in the comment section. And that's it.